heard you talking about Cole on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just talk about Amari. Is he a guy you want to get a look at for not just now, but for next year and for on?
No, we're playing Amari because he deserves to play.
Okay.
And now, Elijah's been out, right?
Yeah.
And Elijah got hurt in that game. C.J. Burton, but Amari deserves to play. He's really talented. I thought that coming in. He came here early. He got hurt in spring, and he wasn't able to practice as much. And then he was dealing with a hamstring early in camp, so he wasn't able to practice as much. But now you can really see he's starting to come along. And I like what I see, and he deserves to play, so we're going to keep playing him. I think he's going to be a good player. Cole, same deal. Cole deserves to play. He keeps showing up. He tackled well. He had the interception. So this isn't about, am I just playing the freshman? No, yeah. I'm gonna play him. It's a good question. I'm going to play him because he deserves to play.
But you envision bigger things when he gets some real game experience like Clemson and Wake Forest.
Yeah, I mean, if you just think about, and we just played, I don't know, what's Clemson right now, 4-3, and Wake's 10. Which played two of the top 10 teams in the country with really good wideouts, and he's a true freshman, 17 or 18-year-old. I anticipate him to get better and better. He's very talented, and it's not too big for him when he gets into the games. He's right there competing, which you can see when you guys watch the game. So no, he's going to play.
Coach, UConn's kind of in the same boat. A lot of injuries this year.
Yeah.
What have you seen from them so far?
A lot of respect for Coach Mora and the staff. Obviously, looking what he did in his career. DB guy, coach for the Niners, coordinator, did a great job at UCLA. Must have missed coaching coming out. But I have a lot of respect for him and his career and what he's done. They play really hard. They play with a lot of energy. They're really well coached. They play with good fundamentals and technique. I know they've had some injuries, quarterback position. Watching their offense and their defense, quarterback's a good athlete. The running backs run hard. They're good up front. They're very well coached up front. I think their offensive line coach does a really good job. And they got some good receivers. I like their offensive coordinator a lot. BC guy, graduated from here. Was the head coach at Maine, won at Maine. Very similar offense to Maine, and I think he does an exceptional job, and I think he's a really good football coach. Defensively, they're they're a 4-down team. They'll play some quarters. They'll play some cover 1, cover 3. I can see his NFL background showing up there, and I'm sure he's very involved in the defense. They're good up front. Their ends are strong. They play hard. Their front seven's strong. Linebackers are very active. Safeties are active. Number 1's a really good player, and their corners are good. It's a good football team. I mean, they've been in games, and they played some really good teams. So, great respect for their staff and their players, and certainly you guys are going to ask. Our guys are approaching this like they approach Clemson, Wake, Florida State. Everyone would play. We have a ton of respect for them.
Did you ever have any interaction with Mora?
I did not. No, I did not. Just knew him as a young coach.
Sorry.
No, you're good, Rich. You got 2 phones?
Well,
it's okay. It happens. Yeah, just a ton of respect for him.
Can you speak to just Zay's positivity and his consistency and how inspiring that's been for everyone else during a tough stretch?
Yeah. Just energy, the way he practices, never in a bad mood. You guys have talked to him. He comes in here, it's the same guy with a big smile on his face. And then the way he's just been playing. There's no letdown. He's a huge bright spot. He's a great leader. He's a great human being. And, talking to a lot of guys and my buddies in the league, everybody's got a really close eye on him. I think he's really climbing, which is really cool when a kid comes back, because it doesn't always happen that way. Zion came back and turned himself into a first-round pick. Zay decided to return, and it's not guaranteed. It doesn't mean you're going to climb. And I think he's climbing. I think everyone would agree that he's playing his best football, and he's got 5 more games to do a lot of great things, and I don't think he'll let down at all, which is cool, because I think in this world of football, some kids might. So we got a lot of good senior leadership right now. And I think that's also with all the youth that we're playing, I think it's really cool for them to see, because hopefully they'll emulate that as they get older. So it's a good question.
Or along those lines, how much does it help when arguably your best player is also your most positive, coincidentally?
It's the best, man. When your best players can be your captains and your leaders and the most positive guys, that's all you can ask for. It's huge. And that's a great statement. It's a great testament to Zay. Got anything? Okay.
Are you were you practicing outside because you're playing on grass?
Tim always likes to practice outside. It could be pouring rain. Today it looked like we were in a cloud. the offense stayed in, and Tim asked if he could go out. And as long as it's safe enough and I don't feel like anyone's just going to slip and slide and it be a distraction, I give him the thumbs up. But he will be outside whether it's 10 degrees out or 90 degrees out. So that's totally his call, and I'm good with it.
Still, you're playing on grass. Do you even have cleats around here?
Yeah, and we've played a few. We've played a few games on grass this year.
Okay.
Florida State had grass, right? And Virginia Tech had grass. So we played a couple games on grass. I think one of the things you look at is the kicking game on grass is different than it's on turf.
Okay.
So those guys have to get outside, and then you got to kind of figure out how good is it. You got to figure out what it is, So
Interesting.
Just going back to the other night real quick, Jason brought the team up, you mentioned it post-game. Is something like that, can it go two ways? Can it be like, whatever, or do you guys actually really, actually rally around it and kind of heed the message?
yeah, it could go both ways. I've been in locker rooms before where you walk in and someone's called them up and it's not a good talk, and it goes in the opposite direction. I've been where some guys are trying to talk and then there's other guys kind of like whatever, but it wasn't like that. So I think it's great. And I saw what Marcus said. I mean, Jason's a great leader, and I think Jason's playing. He's having a good year. I think he's had some of his best games, but. Yeah, I think our guys grabbed onto it, and I thought practice today was the same energy, and they're fighting, and that's a big part of it.
Jack Conley's been pretty consistent. Obviously, you guys need him to be, just given the circumstances. Just how has he helped everyone, adjust to new rules during a tough stretch?
He's had to help, because if you really look, he's been the constant, right? I think he's the only one now he's the only one now who's played in every game on the offensive line, right? Since Drew missed. So he started off the season. We wanted to play him at guard, and then we obviously had to move him back to tackle. He was banged up in that last game, but he fought through it, and we needed him to. And he's had some ups and downs, but just talking to him yesterday, he's positive. He's going to keep working, and you need guys like that. He's a tough kid. He is, and those guys need him. He's got experience, and guys playing different positions that they haven't played. You need some guys with experience to help out.
Talk about Vinny a little bit, too. He didn't have a lot of tackles, but I saw he got into the backfield a couple of times.
Yeah, I think consistent is the key word when you talk about Vinny. Consistent, tough, leadership, loves football, loves BC. I can't say enough good things about the guy. You get guys on your team like that, and you're going to win games. So I love Vinny. He's playing his butt off, and he's an awesome leader, and he's an awesome person. And I've said it before, whatever he decides to do, he'll probably go into coaching, or he could go out and probably kill it early. He's a guy that will probably start in coaching when his career's done, if I had to guess. And I'd hire him in a heartbeat. Twisted, you said?
No, I said I could see that.
Yeah, couldn't you see him as a coach?
Yeah.
I think he'd be a great one. You guys good?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for coming.